दिवाली में आपकी डबल दिवाली का काम मैं करने वाला हूं। इस दिवाली में आपको एक बहुत बड़ा तोहफा देशवासियों को मिलने वाला है। पिछले 8 साल से हमने जीएसटी का बहुत बड़ा रिफॉर्म किया। पूरे देश में टैक्स के बर्डन को कम किया, टैक्स की व्यवस्थाओं को सरल किया और 8 साल के बाद समय की मांग है कि हम एक बार उसको रिव्यू करें।
Prime Minister announcement is basically to announce that 8 years have gone for the GST and we have a lot of experience. Collections have improved. I believe the data analysis which is being carried out, AI being used. On that basis, GST Council is seized of these issues. You will recall when this GST was introduced, it was introduced as one nation, one tax. And the idea was to bring at least, if not more, but at least 2 rate structure. But considering the fact that it was a transition happening from VAT to GST, first time experience, so there was a possibility that the revenue collection may not be of that level which the government expects. So the government has gone with the 4 tax rates, 6, 12, 18 and then 28%. Now I believe after 8 year experience, the thought process is that we should try to reduce this number of tax rates. And what I see is there will be 2 tax rates. One is the standard rate, which will be worked out between, I believe, somewhere between 12 to 18. In between the rate will be worked out. And another will be merit rate, which is some day-to-day consumer goods which will need a concessional rate. Those are merit goods, daily consumption goods. And then there will be a third, is a special rate, which is a demerit good, which we call luxury item, etc. So this is a big reform. So far the rate structure is concerned. And then there is a structural reform which are required. Over a period of experience now, there are many industries where there are inverted duty. So on that part also the Prime Minister, I believe, has said tax reforms will be made. So where it will be not a challenge when you have an inverted duty that your input tax rate is higher as compared to the output. So with the result that always you have a surplus and you are not in a position to get it back. And the third, I believe the reform which is biggest is the procedural and I say computerization, etc. Exporters have a issue that the refunds getting delayed and there is a human intervention, etc. I believe the way in income tax, the human intervention has been almost brought to negligible level because of the faceless assessment, online filing, etc. Though GST has the same issue, same structure, etc., but still there is a lot of human intervention by granting refund, input tax credit, denial of this. I believe this GST reform which the Prime Minister has announced as a Diwali gift will be a remarkable one. The way that government has taken a courage to introduce on 1st July 2017, I think the Diwali reforms will be another bold step which will be announced, I think, after the decision of the GST Council.
Okay, so
GST, since its inception in 2017, has always faced a criticism about the multiplicity of rates. And what the PM did announce today was that rationalization will take place and there is likely to be a reduction in rates. This was immediately followed by a tweet from the Finance Ministry which laid out a roadmap about the reforms they are looking at in GST. What the reduction in multiplicity of rates will mean is that from the existing rates of 0, 5, 12, 18 and 28, we will come down to perhaps 5 merging with 12 at a middle rate of around 7, 8 and 12 and 18 merging to around 15, 16 and we having this 28% up towards 30 simply because the cess would have gone out of the calculations from March 2026. This would mean that there is greater amount of money available with the consumers. This should boost consumption, this should boost demand and the reduction in the tax slabs because of the merger should not have a negative impact on revenue. That will be the hope going forward. Time will tell how this will happen. So the next crucial meetings of the GST are critical for finalizing the rates, and thereafter the GSTN, the network, will have to put in place all the mechanisms to ensure that the rates are implemented smoothly and seamlessly.
GST was an extraordinary reform, and it was committed that GST will not increase tax on the general public. But it has gone up in some pockets like mobile phones and electronics. So the overall rationalization into fewer slabs is very much on the cards, because we have to prepare for Viksit Bharat 2047. So that requires a completely different vyavastha, as they say. And I think GST reforms will put more money in the pocket of consumers. It will stimulate demand, and it will be good for the industry and the consumers.
Minister has also just announced that there will be only 2 GST slabs. Goods will become more cheaper.
Yes, most goods will become cheaper. That's the anticipation. The entire council will have to decide on this, but there is definitely need for reduction in GST. For example, mobile phones, pre-GST, the total tax was around 5% to 10% in terms of excise duty plus VAT, and now and then it was fixed at 12, and then it went up to 18%. So in certain areas like this, like color television, which is at 28%, and air conditioners, there is a need for reduction immediately and rationalization immediately.
PM also talked rationalization reforms in keeping in mind the 2047, and he said that to decide a task force.
These are very testing times, and the nation is being tested, but he exhorted us that every small pocket of value creation which is possible, and there is nothing which is not on the table. This is an extraordinary step that a task force is being set up, because the entire vyavastha now has to be made ready for 2047, Viksit Bharat. So his resolve was very, very resolute. You could see it in every word, every breath of what he was saying. And we are feeling very motivated by this address from the top executive of the country.